Hello everyone, I am Plankera. Today, I'm going to continue rigging Shalom from Path to Nowhere. Right now I'm still in the process of cutting the art. I was looking at the face and everything, and I think things are looking pretty good overall. I've just been doing what I've been doing and going back and forth between both of these, and I'm going to do some minor corrections to the shading around the eye, but after that, I think I am good to go and making the style around the eyelashes match the original a little bit better. Oh, I will be doing that. It's very exciting. I want this to go a little further across. There we go. Honestly, a little bit surprised it goes that far across, but I want to respect what I saw there. I'm hoping it's not just hair shadows. Confusing things a little bit. I'm gonna feather this nice and light. Nice and light. Let's get rid of the transition there, make it really, really smooth. And that requires me to go back and forth a little bit. Barely touching my tablet for some of those strokes. Okay. So I'm gonna leave the hair on for a little bit. Just so when I turn it back and forth, they'll look a little bit more similar. You can see down here, those colors get very, very light. And I might even change the lower lash to be more like the color on this side. But first, I think I want to start with the upper lash. Oh, it should be this one, right? Yeah. Unfortunately, the names are a bit long, so I can't really see them as well as I would like here. I'll just take some skin tone and lightly brush over this, because I think that's about how it was done in the original. This is fairly common in anime styles, so... Here it looks like a little bit different. Fascinating. As you can see, it's changing it, yeah, not to be quite the color that I had in mind here. Backing up, it'll probably actually just be easier to... There we go. Okay, so maybe I'll do this a little bit differently. I'll just take the color and brush it in. That should do it. Don't need to make it overly complicated. And then I think it does something like that. It's a little bit lighter through there. And actually on top, not on the bottom. There we go. I think that looks a bit more like the original. Like it gets a little bit blurry through there. But I think I'm gonna leave it fairly sharp on my rendition. I think that's a fair decision to make. And before I go to the next one, I think I just noticed a small error in the eye white here. It looks like it doesn't go all the way to the bottom like it should here. There we go. That's much better. Okay. And now I can move on to the bottom eyelash. You, yes. And like before, I think rather than try to kind of guess the colors, I might just take them directly. So this is only going to take the eyelash and not the spiky parts. The spiky parts I have to do separately because they're on a separate layer. That will come in handy when it comes time to make her blink. So that'll be worth it. Then I need to get a little bit in the side eyelash here. Here we go. And now I kind of want to get this light color for the tips. Kind of right over here. And then a little bit onto the spikes. Something like that. Okay. That should match the impression a little more closely overall. I think so. Yeah. Mine is just a little bit cleaner than this, what's the term I'm thinking of? I had to resize this to make it larger, and that always kind of messes with the quality. But if I didn't make it larger, it wouldn't really be large enough to make for a good model. So it was a sacrifice I had to make, unfortunately. Okay, and then I wanted to blend this part in just a little bit more. Should hide her hair for that, honestly. And probably the eye makeup lay underneath it too. There we go. I just wanted to blend this little guy in a little bit more. Like even on the original, it's a little bit harsh, but I don't think it's quite that harsh. I want it to get a little bit smoother, especially over on the side here. There we go. Just kinda... I don't want it to be, you know, like invisible, like I've been getting it on the skin. But I do want it to be a little bit less visible than it is right now. There we go. Now I can turn some of these... Well, no, I'll leave that off. I need to go blend the colors in the side eyelash real quick. I'll take these and do a little bit of pushing and pulling here. I think I'll put a little bit more light in the corner. There we go, something like that. Now I can turn the hair back on. Right now I'm looking at that little highlight on the eyelid, and I'm debating if I should make it lighter. Like I am picking directly from the base image there, but I have to kind of take a lot of these colors with a grain of salt. So I think I am just gonna take something from the skin tone. And I can moderate it as I need. There we go. I'm gonna do the same over here. A little light in the corner of the eye right there. A little bit strong, so I'll just take my eraser and blend it in a little bit. There we go. Once again, not exactly the same, but I think it's pretty close. And I want to look at the eyebrow real quick. This is going to be one where I want to trace a little bit more, so I'm going to hide my head layers and then go up to the eyebrow. Reduce the opacity. Oh no, I actually have it quite right. Okay, perfect. I don't have anything left to do. There was just a little additional shadow there that I wasn't reading as such. Okay. Now the next thing that I want to do before I go back to cutting some hair is work on the eyeball a little bit again. because when the eye looks downward, I don't want the shadow to necessarily move quite as strongly with it. It looks like I have the pupil a little bit too high, so let's just push him down a little. That might be too much. Just get that little bounding box kind of where that pupil is on this one. Yeah, there we go. So I want to have a little bit more detail in this upper part of the eye too, which I kind of just have to guess at. I just have to make stuff up. It's fine. I can do that. I'm good at making stuff up. Okay. It's just kind of where I have to think a little bit. What exactly is this going to look higher up? What matches with this artist's style? With a little bit of my own taste into it, I am going to put a little bit of a ring around it. That's because this is something that I personally enjoy. I like having that dark ring around the eye. I think it makes them look prettier. And it does look like I can just add some other spots of darkness around. I can just kind of guess. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going for here, but I'm just gonna try some things. Just take a look at the original for inspiration and go from there. But it's a little bit tricky, just because determining, because like I think this dark red color is just shadow, whereas some of these other colors are not. They're just decorations within the eye to add further reflections and that kind of thing. But this isn't something that I normally do with my style. I keep my eyes very, very simple. So it's a little bit foreign to me. So I'll just be trying some stuff and seeing what happens. Add a few little reflections in there. And just to stop it from looking like something completely different when I move the eye around. Something like this, I guess. I think this should be okay. Enough to make it not be boring, I think. Most of it will just be in the shadow most of the time. Probably keep the eyeball movement a little bit more minimal than I normally would. Just because of the nature of the expression on this one. Okay. I think it's looking alright, so let's try flipping everything over. Gonna need to move that eyeball around a little bit, but that's expected. Something like that. Yeah, that should work pretty well until I draw some hair shadows. And I'll rename all the layers later because I'm not convinced I won't have to go in and make some changes. And since I want them to be symmetrical, that means I'll have to duplicate all the layers and rename them again, and that starts getting really tedious really fast. So I will actually hold off on naming my layers. Unusual. Sometimes it's gotta be done. Taking a quick look around the face just to make sure there's nothing else I want to add. wondering briefly if I need to add some more red to her cheeks or something, but honestly, this is pretty close to how the original handled her cheeks, I think. And I don't really see any highlights on her lips or anything. So I think I will just leave it like that for now, and if I notice anything in the future, then I will edit it then. So I think this is looking alright for now. I still might end up separating the eye sockets. In fact, I have to move it over already, so might as well do that now. Might as well just do that now, since I do have to get this over on the other side. These layers I will name, though. Like I said, I am amazed that they go that far out. It doesn't seem like they should. I might edit that. As personal artistic liberty. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it for now. Like, right now it's covered up by hair, so I don't care. So I will worry about it later when I really have to care about all the voids underneath the head. But it looks like I got most of them. Small error. This is why I said I didn't want to go and name all the layers yet. Because I hadn't really scrutinized it yet, and I was just kind of seeing how everything looks. This is a small enough one that, honestly... Oh, nah. I'll duplicate it. Here we go. For a second there, I was considering just... making the edit on the other side, but it's like, no, I really, really want to keep these perfectly symmetrical. So I shouldn't be lazy. Okay. Back to hair hell. Let us venture. I don't think I'm quite to the point where I want to do any redrawing yet. I think I'm still just going to keep cutting out the rest. Okay, so which part should be next? Because I definitely got the easiest ones. Alright, I guess I'll grab what's down here. This little strand coming off. And even though the hair is asymmetrical, I still label things left and right, just to make it easier for me to find in the future. There we go. This way, when I hear that something is... or I see a layer name with left at the end, I know it's going to be over here on the left end. And that is the left end, because riggers name things based on the characters left and right, not our left and right. So this side is right, and this side is left. Whereas my dyslexia nuts, honestly. But I am keeping with the convention. Okay, so I'm taking a look to see how I want to separate this. I know I'm definitely going to want to separate this strand. I'm not sure about the other ones yet. But I can make that decision while I work on this one. Let me get a little bit more around here. Okay. Much like yesterday, I am copy and pasting it instead of cut and pasting it. It gives me a little bit more control. little bit more control over what goes on this layer and what does not. Does mean a little bit more erasing work on my part, but I think it's worth it to make sure that each strand is exactly how I want it to be. Control is worth a little bit of extra work. Okay. And then I just cut it out of the original. And there we go. And all that's just gonna have to be redrawn. So how much do I want to separate these strands? I think I want to separate this one, but I don't think I need to separate these. I think these are fine as a clump. So I need to make that layer name a little bit more specific, so this way I can differentiate between these two strands that I'm separating here. A little bit more than that, honestly. There we go. And then I will cut out this part on this layer. And the way I'm going to cut this edge here, I'm going to line up these two. So this way it's just this strand over through here. There we go. I'll go turn those strands back on. Things are looking all right. All right, what's going next? Does seem like next might be... did I not separate? Or do I just not have it turned on? Okay, I just don't have it turned on. Okay. So I think I might do this clump that goes over her shoulder now. Yeah. I think that will be a layer for this. Yeah, I might do these separate. We'll see. This strand will definitely be on its own, as will this one. I'm just kind of figuring out where all the rest of the layers are going to be in my head. So it's like, I think this one's probably going to end up being 4. So I'm going to separate on this strand. I'm going to separate on these strands here. Okay, so 5. And then through here. And then this, I'll cut up here, probably up into this point. And then I'll make this top part separate. Okay. This strand will be separate. This strand probably has to be separate. And then on this side I was less sure about because it doesn't really have anything that goes on top of her shoulder, so some of this might be lumped into the back hair. But at the same time, I need to make sure to keep some stuff here so that when her head turns to the left, that, I have enough hair over here to cover her head. Since all her eyes and stuff will be over this way, and, you know, the middle part bang will be further this way, and all of that stuff. So figuring out how to cut this side is actually going to be a little bit harder. But this side is super easy, so I'll just do that for now, and I'll make the rest of those decisions a little bit later. keep. Let this part kind of be the divider. Okie dokie. I'll keep this on for now just so I can kind of see what I'm doing. But I do need to get rid of that. Let me see, are you just part of that? Okay. Yeah, I had to keep this so this way I could get the strand out there. I'll start breaking everything apart and then I'll worry about what's underneath this here. Okay. That's such a weird strand. Okay, I should name this. Okay, and then I want to separate this little guy. This one might have some changes done to it when it comes time to redraw, but this is fine for now. This is fine for now. I don't really want to start redrawing until I have all the basic cuts done. So now this is the question. Or do I want to separate this here? I don't think I do. I think this is just a small detail. And it won't add much 3D effect if I really make it perfect, so I think I'm just gonna not worry about it. Alright, I want to get this strand. And that kind of cuts across here. Where I continue to lament that anime characters just have so much hair. Just... when it comes to hair like this, I don't blame people for just calling them strand 1, 2, and 3, because it does get pretty hard to name them after a while, but I like to try to give them some kind of descriptor. It just makes it easier for me to remember them personally. Some people have an easier time with numbers, and some people with names. I'm someone that has an easier time with names. I just name them like that. I can already tell I'm probably gonna have to spend a couple of streams just cleaning up the hair. That's to be expected. The hair is definitely one of the areas with the most detailed cuts. It's very helpful for when it comes time to add physics to the hair and make it all swooshy. And you gotta have swooshy hair. It's mandatory. It's like, what are you even doing if you don't make the hair swooshy on your VTuber models? Like, even my relatively simple hair has got some swoosh to it. Okay. Let me just take it out of here. Then most of these little loops that kind of come off I had been separating, but I'm not actually sure if I need to with this one. I think I will anyway. Alright. It's a pretty quick cut anyway. So now, just to figure out what the heck I want to do with these two things. I guess before I do that, I can just tie it up here. I'm definitely gonna have to put these into folders. It's driving me slightly crazy trying to find what the heck I'm doing here. Okay, so that must be all on here. Yeah. I'll go ahead and figure out exactly how I want this to be shaped. Maybe something like this. There we go. And then once I redraw, I'll probably extend it a little bit higher. But for now, I think this is fine. I'll just come in and... I didn't zoom out enough, so I'm gonna have to loop around here. And we'll just make this one strand. And then once I finish cutting it, I definitely need to go through and start making sure my layer order is good. Because when you import files into Inochi 2D, it'll set up the default layer order, the default draw order, based on how your layers are in the Krita file. And it's kind of a pain to change that around. It's like, it's very doable, but it's like, if you can just do it in the initial file, it saves a lot of time and effort. I'll definitely have to go through and scrutinize how I want my layers to be ordered here. Which things need to be on top and which things need to be on bottom. Oh, what did I name you? Let you top. Might have erased too much. Yeah, there we go. I want to keep it up here, I think. And just clean up some of these extra pixels. There we go. Now, how the heck do I want to separate that? And how much do I need it to be separated? I do think, for physics purposes, being able to move these two strands independently will be very helpful, so I think I'll just cut it in half. I don't think I have to worry about these tiny little things. So I'll just come through and I'll cut this like this. I got some weird naming conventions, and it's fine. As long as I know what I'm talking about, it's fine. It's like I at least wanted to try to be somewhat clear because I would like to share this file so people can use it to learn how to rig their own models, but for the most part, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Something like this, I think. Yeah. And I think I'll just keep the underneath part of that loop there. This is fine. Okay. Go ahead and turn all the things back on here. See how we're looking. Getting there. There's just a lot of hair here. Oh, did I cut too much? I did. Okay, I need to fix that. Oh, right, because, of course, because I still have this layer on. Of course I'm never gonna find it. Okay, and then I'll just clean this up a little bit. Yeah, this is why I always do a copy and paste and keep the original mostly intact. It can save me when I mess things up a little bit like that. Okay. And then the rest is just stuff I'll have to fix and redraw. Okay, looks like I have a little bit of dirt here. Probably don't need to worry about it on this layer, but I'm going to anyway. Because I'm not necessarily keeping that one, but it's useful to have as a reference, so I still kind of want to keep it. Okay. Let's cut out this part next. Zoom out a little. There we go. I think I want to cut like this. Through here, up here. Up and around. There we go. Having to double check my brain which side is left and which side is right. Time to hide a bunch of layers here. Okay, that's all of them. And then just to make sure, my side bangs already do cover all that, right? Yes. Okay. So I just need to cut all that out. Some of this is just going to be fixed with redrawing. I'm not too worried about completely cutting out all of this remains of the side hair here. Just trying to get the general shape of the hair correct. looks like about all of it. The ear is going to be covered up in redrawing. Let me see here. How am I cutting this? Right along here, right? Yeah. It's determining which should be inside this layer and which should be outside this layer. Just little decisions like that. I'm really looking forward to rigging this hair though. It's gonna look so great once I can make it swish around. Because I'm definitely cutting it with swishing in mind. It'll be so fluffy. See, this is why when you look up model showcases, you always find people playing with the eyes and people playing with the hair. Because that's where a lot of the effort goes in. Okay. Me just hiding the hair back and forth a little, so this way I can actually, man, figure out which parts are going to be on this layer. This hair is very complicated. I'm definitely gonna have to pull some shenanigans. Okay, I embrace shenanigans. Alright. Now just to cut out the couple of loose strands. So there's this little guy here that I'm gonna cut out. This way you can swish freely. Swish freely, little strand. I believe in you. Kind of wish I could demonstrate what's in my head a little bit better at this stage. Just to give you guys a bit better understanding of what I'm thinking, but honestly, it's pretty hard without going into the rigging program. And this is just not ready for the rigging program right now. There we go. And then I'll get this little guy. I think I want him to... Do I want it to go all the way up? I think I do. I'll just grab this entire little light spot. That should look pretty good once I have it floof around. Grab a little bit of extras, this way I can really control what goes on this layer. This looked like it was initially cut a little bit messily, but that's okay, I can fix that now. Let me see, where do you connect to? Yeah, this is just the edge, so I don't need that much dark color there. For the most part, the line art is pretty thin. I'll just make this a little bit cleaner than my initial cut was. It's okay, that's one of the beauties of digital. It's like you can always go back and fix your mistakes pretty easily. Got all the time in the world to look at your picture and decide which parts you like and which parts you don't. You can erase so cleanly. It's very nice. Citadel is just very clean in general, I think. Okay, and then yeah, some of this is going to have to be fixed in redrawing, but that's fine. Alright. Now to get this back clump. I think I might actually make this 2 layers, one for this and then one for this. I think that'll look pretty good when I do downturns. I don't think her head is going to turn too far down because it already is, just a little bit down, I think. But I want to be able to shift her hair downward for being able to look down like this. So I'm just taking a look at my brain to see which parts. Let's see here. So yeah, this just went up to here. I think I probably want this separated. And this separated. And this separated. That sounds good. So we got 3 layers there. Okay, I have one more thing I need to check. That only got the lower of those 2 strands, right? Yes, so this is part of the... Okay. Had to check to see where this little guy was. And he is indeed with the area that I'm cutting now. It can be pretty hard for me to keep all this straight in my head sometimes. So it's good to double check. Just keep this nice and clean. I'm not too worried about keeping all the shadows here. All of those are going to go in the part that's going to go underneath. I think it should look pretty good when the time comes. This is going to be... It's got a lot of layers to rig, but I think it'll look pretty good. So I think it's worth a bit of extra effort. Okay. Let me look at the original again. Let's see, where did I cut the previous layers? So I think I have one going down like this. I have this one going down from this gap. Yeah. I'm just taking a look to see where I placed everything. Let's see. Okay. That layer's up to this. Apologies for the silence there, just trying to figure out what those layers were. Right up into this light strand. And this one I don't actually think I'm going to cut out the tiny strand. I think this on this one it's fine where it is. This one might actually be okay. It's just one layer instead of putting at the loop in the strand here. Though for perspective's sake, do I want to still cut out the loop? I might. Let me think about how it's going to turn in my head while I finish cutting this. Yeah, I think I do need to cut it out, actually. And do I need to do you? I don't think so. Well, it might help with the perspective a little, so yeah, I guess I will. It's easy enough to do. Just take all of this little guy. Some of this might be a little excessive, but look, if you're not going to be excessive on hair, what are you going to be excessive about? Hair is like the rigging bread and butter. You gotta go all out. This is why I lucked out with my model, because I just made my hair so simple. Some blunt bangs and hair that I wanted to look like waterfalls. Okay, and then I'll just get this little thing out of here. There we go. And then take it out of here. It's gonna make the hair look a bit weird, but that's fine. It'll be something to fix and redrawing, I think. Just shoving off all my problems to future me. It's fine. Future me can deal with it. Okay. So next set is gonna go along with this one, and it's gonna be these little parts that are kind of looping underneath. Let me see. So it looks like I got it up to right about here. I should extend that a little bit. I need this to be part of that previous layer. Or do I? No, it does cut off right here. And this is more part of this. Okay. Anything I might have kept too much. Hard to say. Yeah, I can't really make out where exactly I want the distinction to be. I did here. So I'm gonna have to pull some shenanigans. I can pull some shenanigans. Right here is where I want it to stop. Yeah, I did cut too much. Okay. So I want it to be like this. And everything else. Okay. This makes sense. That might be too much, but I need to take this very delicately. I won't remove him just yet. Okay. And then I want to cut out this light part and just keep the shadowed part here. There we go. Which will make this go more like this. Right into that loop. It'll be something like this, I think. Yeah, I wanted to keep the highlight onto the other layer I have planned. Okay, so this is going to make the rest of it make a little bit more sense. I don't think I need this anymore. Just needed that to kind of help me identify the part that I was planning on cutting like that. It wasn't looking quite right. I needed a little bit of extra help. This is where I start entering cutting hell. Let's go. Yeah, and some of that's just gonna have to be redrawn. That's just how it is. You can see not all the pieces are gonna fit together quite perfectly. Just because I do need to redraw bits and pieces of it. Fill in those voids. Fill in those voids with lovely colors. I feel like that's what art does best. Okay. And now top. Like that. And then we'll hope everything works together the way I expect it to when it comes time to rig it all. I'm a little bit scared. This is definitely a little bit intimidating. But it should look really nice when it's done. I'm really looking forward to that part. This I think I actually keep on one layer. Okay. And not just because I'm feeling a little bit lazy. Turn all the layers back on and see how things are looking so far. Oh my, that's so many layers. Ah, that's a big old hole in there. I think I want to fill that in a little bit right now, actually. Need to find the right layer. See, this is why you name your layers. And this is why you actually know which layer you're looking for. Just gonna fill this in a little bit. This is incredibly messy, but fine, I'll make it look nice later. This is largely what void filling entails. No, but definitely on the right layers. Do not have anything over on you, right? Okay, good. Just want a little bit more thickness through here. Okay. It's fine for now. I just didn't want a gap quite that large while I was still working. It would bother me. Yeah, it's a pretty small gap now. Okay, so that looks like about half the hair done. Until redrawing, it's at least the initial cut is there. And yeah, there's another pretty big gap right there, but that should be okay. That'll definitely get filled. Okay, so now how the heck am I gonna cut this side? That's a decision. Okay, so I see that these strands come out here and kind of all gather up around her ear. but I'm not quite sure how it connects to this area here. I'm going to turn the body on while I try to think about how I want to go about this. And it looks like this part over here just kind of goes into her back hair. Just like this part over here did, and I think I cut that out here, yeah. But I didn't... Oh no, I did on this side. Okay, that's good. I was smart. Thank you, past self, for making correct decisions. Okay. So the trouble is, what is this? See, it only goes over her shoulder on this side. But I am afraid that if I just only keep, like, through here and cut out all of this part down here, that, I won't have enough hair to make proper head turns. Let's see here. So it's like I'll have all of this. Her ear won't... When her head is turned this way, we'll see the hair going back behind the ear. And we'll see it go down here. And her head is gonna be like over here. Which means I do need something kind of like that. So I might take a little bit of artistic liberty. I think I will cut out this part. So this part I won't keep. But I will keep this big strand and this underneath strand. Okay, I can do that. Okay, so I already have all that cut. So I just want this. Now we'll just make it a small underneath layer. Let's see. Yeah, I think I want that part to be part of it. Okay. Decisions are being made. Now I have to go find where those layers are. I think I need to make some folders here. Give me just a moment while I put these into groups that I can very quickly add and remove. Okay, so like here, this will be the left side. And everything else should be the right side. Except for the layer I just made, I guess. Okay, so this will let me quickly hide and show things and just keep a general beat on what the heck I'm actually doing. So I was getting a little bit lost there. Okay, so now I can more easily cut that and I will know where are the other strands that I need to hide. Or where they live. Okay, so I do have this entire strand. Yeah. I have that entire strand drawn already. I can just cut that. Okay, and I'm just trying to figure out exactly how this strand will connect with the others, and that's how I'm deciding how I will shape it, much like everything else. It's like I'll be redrawing over the ears and all that stuff later. Right now I'm just trying to get the basic cuts down, and then tomorrow is going to be hair redrawing hell. And that's going to take a while, especially since I have to match style. Okay. So a nice little easy strand. This is being ditched. So after that, I think this is going to be on top, and then I'll have another layer for the back. Let me see, how much of the bangs do I already have? Only to right there. That makes sense. So I'll need a layer for here, and then its underneath part will be a separate one. I think I can probably just take this entire piece. So let's do that. Trying to figure out exactly how I want all these cuts to go it's a bit tricky. Okay, I already do have this strand separated, so I can just go in and do what I want. Which I think is going to be like this. See me hesitating for a moment, just while I try to figure out how that's going to work. This is going to be... Okay, and now I have to hide a bunch of layers again. I'm gonna hide the front in its entirety. And this. Okay. And this should let me cut this just fine. Like, man, I'm making all sorts of funny hairstyles for this character. She has such a serious look on her face and just looks so ridiculous with this clown hair. Art is hilarious sometimes. You gotta keep laughing through the suffering sometimes. Did I mess that up? Which... No, I didn't. We were good. I was indeed. Just some extras. This way I didn't cut off too much with my initial selection. And I do think I will cut that strand separately. Seeing the egghead is always really funny to me. That is indeed what I see most riggers call it too, just egg. And when they post works in progress of their head turns, it's always egg. There we go. And then the only piece that needs to be separated here is this little guy. And it just comes down here. I'm dreaming up some other stuff that I want to try in my head while I cut this. Like, I think this hair is going to look really good once I can actually make it move. For now, enjoy the ridiculousness. I mean, like that. Isn't that just funny? Does not suit this character at all. Not at all. Weird little things like this that keep me sane while I'm cutting hair. Okay. Yeah, I figured that there would probably be a couple of gaps. Alright, I'll fix those once the time comes. I just cut out a little bit too much here. Actually, I should probably fix that now. Let's just do it. I just cut a little bit too much. I just want to fix it now. Okay. I need to hide some of those layers again. Did I get the wrong layer? I did. Okay, there we go. As you can see, the layers are starting to get a little bit unwieldy. This is why I don't use layers to quite the same extent. You know, when I'm just drawing normally, that I do when rigging. I would go insane, and it would be painful. Okay. So I just wanted this dark area right here. There we go. And that should fix the problem that I had. Yeah, close enough. And I can fix the rest with redrawing. Okay, I'm getting a little tired, but I am very determined to finish cutting the hair today. So this way I can just go into hair redrawing hell tomorrow. I'm gonna dive head first. It's gonna be great. Okay, I need to check my front hair. What do I already have cut up there? Okay, so I do need it for both. Yeah, I think I can just do that on one. Okay. You can see me just wondering, this little hole right here. Do I make this 2 layers so I can attach it strictly to the front hair, or do I just make it 1? But this is just such a tiny little area. I'm pretty sure I can just make it 1. Just stretch it. And it's important to separate those little kind of underneath areas. It'll make everything look more convincing once I start turning the head. Because then I can make this wider and smaller as I deem fit. Whereas if it was all just on one layer, it's a lot harder to do that. I think it probably could have been done. But, I think it's easier to do it like this. It's like if I wanted to try to do it with one layer, I'd have to be very particular with the art mesh. But I think just doing it like this is a bit easier. Should be fine. Okay. So I think there's 3 left. 1, and not including the underneath. 2, 3, and an underneath here, and an underneath here. Okay. 5 layers. 5 left. Almost there. I think I have enough energy to finish it. Let's do it. I did not zoom out enough. That's fine. Just catch some excess here. Actually, let me shave some of that off. I'm just going to confuse myself. There we go. That should be a little bit less confusing for me. The way I'm doing this is if you hold down Shift with your selection, you will add to your existing selection, and if you hold down Alt, you will remove from your existing selection. I'm just adding all the little parts that I think will be in this strand. Okay. I guess I'll just hide the right side entirely now, because now we're getting to the points where they're starting to overlap a little. So what I'm looking at when I'm cutting is often each little part will kind of have an outline, a little bit of an outline around it. And I'm trying to kind of respect those little outlines. It's like Path to Nowhere art uses less obvious line art in some anime styles. So a lot of it is just me paying attention to where the shadows are and cutting along those. I think that'll make it easiest to move around when it comes time to rig. And there we go. So because Path to Nowhere art uses less line work, I am shaving very, very close, leaving only like the slightest hint of shadows here. Okay. I think that's that strand until redrawing. Oh, I just kind of need to get this underneath part. Lots of depth to this hair, so that should make it very fun to rig. Should be able to add a lot of nice 3D effects. I am not copying from the right layer. There we go. Okay. Here. Oh, I didn't name this one. Okay. How could I forget to name a layer? I really am getting tired. Alright, I'm so close I can taste it. I'm already gonna have to do extensive redrawing, so it's okay if I'm a little bit messy. Let's just go! Power through! Okay. Alright. Now I just need to get the side part right here. And do I want to separate the underneath? I don't actually think I need to for this one. If I change my mind when I look at it tomorrow morning, well, I can do it then. No decisions are permanent. Don't remember whether or not I included this as part of something else, so okay, and then I wanted it to come up here. And this black part was going to be a different part. Okay. Oh, no, copy from here. There we go. And I definitely want it to be underneath most of this. Yeah, I want it to be above that one, but below everything else I've done so far. Okay. Hard to believe that I've already gotten everything else pretty much done, though. I think this is looking really nice. I thought that getting the face done and figuring out how to style match everything would take a little bit longer. Alright, and I wanted to check here. Okay, yep, I got it cut right. I remembered the decision I made like 20 minutes ago. Go me. It'd be surprisingly tricky to remember everything that's running through your head when you're doing stuff like this. There's a lot going on, trust me. I wish I could properly articulate it all. I think a lot of it is even background processes that I'm not consciously aware of. I'm just gonna... Oh, this dark part, because that's going to be its own little section. It'll be very thin at the top, but that's fine. Check something real quick here. Yeah, I wanted to cut it at the line here. Which means going like this. There we go. Okay. And then I just want to cut off this strand. This is going to be... Fix my typos. There we go. Okay. Now I can safely cut this to another layer. And that's fine, honestly. Oh, and I just cut it. I was smart. Okay. Occasionally, I make my life easier. Let's go. One more. Just the very, very back. Where everything is dark. How did I cut that? So there's like, yeah. Cut it like right through here, so I kept the light part. Perfect. Sounds good to me. come back up here, and this one should be right here, I think. Just a little bit of cutting around here. Cross-reference over here. Yeah, I think I get rid of the light area entirely. There we go. Okay, and I think that's roughly how that one's gonna go, so let's go turn all these strands on. There's gonna be some gaps, but this should cover most of her head now. Yeah, perfect. Alright, so we got the haircut. I'm gonna leave the original here still, but I will leave it off. I'm gonna put her body on, though. Just for fun. Yeah, and what I drew up in the face doesn't look out of place with the rest of her body, I don't think. So I'm pretty happy with that. And that's where I will end for today. Tomorrow, redrawing all the hair. Void filling all the hair. If we're lucky, maybe I'll start drawing some hair shadows, but I doubt it. Because I'm pretty sure void filling all that hair is going to take multiple streams. There's just so much of it, man. But thank you all for coming. If you want me to take a look at any of your creative works, whether that be art, writing, coding, game design, anything you can think of, feel free to @ or message me on Twitter or Instagram, and I'll take a look and maybe leave some comments. Goodbye.